I think women always still trump men in terms of technique. You look at some of these swings that we see week in and week out on the LPGA, and there. But let's get into this Nelly Korda, man. Young lady is on a tear. 3 starts, 3 wins this year. Um, Young ladies out here beasting on the
Yeah,
LPGA. It's just hard to, she gives me the Scotty Scheffler vibes that if she's in the
yeah.
running, you might want to be scared. You might want to be cautious that she's sneaking up behind you. And sure enough, she did the same thing again this week. Rough conditions, man. So, I mean, fairly
Cold.
decent weather, I believe. Yeah, cold on Sunday, but it was windy yesterday. They had
Yeah,
39, mile per hour wind gusts. So tough
yeah.
conditions, and she's just gutting it out. And that says a lot about her as a player that the conditions, I mean, they're going to matter, right? But to have the mental fortitude to kind of fight. Apparently, people don't love Peter Malnati. That "What's in the Bag" video didn't get the views. So let's get into this Nelly Korda because she's on a historic run. I think it's cool. I've said this before. There's a macho contingent out there of men that think that they would go out and kill an LPGA player. And the truth is, a really good male player should actually probably be comparing their bags up to a LPGA player in terms of
Right.
looking at distances, maybe some of the profiles, because the swing speeds for an amateur male are probably going to be somewhat similar to a elite female. You may be able to get some additional driver distance, but otherwise, there's a lot of similarities in this bag. Because you as a elite male have a huge gap between you and PGA Tour player, Corn Ferry Tour, whatever. I think women always still trump men in terms of technique. You look at some of these swings that we see week in and week out on the LPGA, and they're
Yeah.
incredibly solid, technically sound. Optimizing ball striking. The numbers are incredible when you look at smash factor and things like that. So let's get
Exactly.
into this Nelly profile here. So TaylorMade, gracious enough to post this stock yardages for her in 2024. Again, I kind of mentioned the driver at the top of the bag. I mean, there's males that get it out there further than this, and I want to assume that these are carry distances and not necessarily
Yes.
after rollout. And so, I mean,
Yes, they
252
are.
driver carry is pretty good, right? So,
Yeah.
um, again, I'm no crazy good player, but I have some decent distance off the tee. As Marcus mentioned earlier, I went and got fit earlier this week. That's about my average carry, and then after rollout, probably looking at about 270 or so. So very
Yeah.
respectable, and able to get the ball out there. 3 wood, 332. I'm pretty similar. I don't carry a 7 wood or a 5 hybrid, but she's at 218, 200. I assume her 5 hybrid playing like a 4 iron.
Yeah.
Probably I have, her lofts here here in a little bit. 5 iron 185, 6 iron 169. Honestly, these are, there's a few variances. You're longer than me, so these are, probably close to very within a handful of yards of where I'm playing some of these. I mean, when we get lower, my 7 iron goes a little bit further, same with the 8 and 9, but pitch and wedge 124, about spot on. I play a 50. Um, at 115, it's crazy how the similarities are going. I don't play a
Yeah.
54. I have a 56 in the bag, and then she plays a 60. Um, Not many pros are hitting a 60 wedge full. We've talked about this before. Professionals are
Right.
not hitting 60s out of the fairway. They're much more likely to take a little bit off this 54 and go from there. So, um, I had been using Q10 on this driver, but I heard a TaylorMade page actually say it out loud. So it's the QI10. She's playing the max version of it with the
Hmm.
Mitsubishi Diamana GT60 stiff, playing at 10 degrees. Um, what do you think about? What do you think about the Q10 QI10 this year? Have you had a chance to hit it or put it on a monitor?
No, I mean, I haven't even seen a QI10 in person yet. I mean, I walk right by it at
Really?
Golf Galaxy. I mean, I got a TSR 3. I mean, it's top three in the ratings right now as far as best overall driving. So, I mean,
Yep.
I mean, once I put that in the bag with the shaft that I wanted, I definitely haven't looked any other way. I haven't needed to, because what I do with that is, trumping what I did with my Sim Max, and I love my Sim Max. It was a hard battle to find something to compare to it. Yeah, I got acclimated to the weight of the head, because I feel like that's pretty much one of the stark differences between manufacturers right now, especially with TaylorMade using like carbon a lot more. They definitely have a
Hmm.
lighter profile in their head and their grammage, and they have a lot of weight in the shaft and stuff like that. So you can swing the TaylorMade a little bit faster. They want to see club head speed. They want to see ball speed. It doesn't always, have the best results. So for me,
No.
I feel like I'm not swinging, I don't feel like I need to swing nearly as hard as I used to. And I'm still getting the same results, if not better, when I do want to
Yeah.
swing, when I do want to get a hold of it. So I'm
Yeah.
more than impressed with the TSR.
My experience
But
testing the QI10 this week was that it was somewhat hard to control. I mean, it's interesting that this year's release of clubs, a lot of them have similar characteristics that the good ones are, I mean, really good. I would not say that this is the most forgiving club out there right now. When you look at kind of top four manufacturers, this is not the most forgiving club. So you have to be really hitting it on the screws. But it's the club that most TaylorMade staffers are playing right now. So they're going to get their adjustments to where they want it to be and make any customization shaft type. But yeah, so pretty standard driver offering here. Starts getting a little bit interesting. I love when players don't abandon the 3 wood, from season to season, and they just play what works. So she's playing the TaylorMade Stealth 2 from last year at 15 and 21 degrees. Fujikara Ventus Red 7S shaft, excuse me, 7 stiff shaft. I mean, pretty standard. Again, we talked about who's dropping down to the TaylorMade Mini Driver. A lot of pros playing the 7 wood versus hybrids these days. That's a pretty common move. And has
mhm.
become pretty trendy out there. And I wanted to take this quick opportunity to talk about our exciting new affiliate partnership with PGA Tour Superstore. You can get the Sim 2, the Stealth 2, the TP Reserve line of putters from TaylorMade, as well as the Paradigm line from Callaway with $200 off with our link down in the description, as well as other clubs in Nelly Korda's bag. We appreciate you watching this video. Let's get back to the content. But pretty standard offer in there. I thought this one was interesting. So she's playing the Ping G425, Fujikara Ventus HB, which is their hybrid shaft at 26 degrees. I'm very familiar with this club. I have this in a 3 hybrid version. Very pretty to look at down by the ball. I mean, it's a pretty
Mhm.
straightforward. You have the alignment dots. I love this club. It's explosive. So Ping is known, of course, for being very straight and controllable and predictable. Even on miss hits, you're not going to get some crazy stuff. But I want to say this is one of their hottest faces with my experience. I feel like the driver line of Ping is very forgiving, but their woods have some pop to them. I know you've probably
Mhm.
experienced that with the 410 series, and they just continue to get better. I don't. I again, I like the look of this one without the turbulators. That's my preference, is to have a smooth top line, and they're
Yeah.
achieving that here. So let's keep it rolling. So irons, she's playing the one P770, which is their really, it's a really nice looking club, and she's playing that in the 5 iron. The rest of her set, 6 through pitch and wedge, the P7 MCs, and this shaft here was the Aerotech steel fiber. I'm gonna pull this. I had not really heard of this shaft, I'll be honest. So I went to their website, or a comparable website, just to get some information. And I'll pull this up here. I'm going to skip through a couple of shafts here. This is all the corporate mumbo jumbo and whatnot. But It says designed for the player looking to gain distance without sacrificing control. High modulus graphite core, over 59 miles of steel core fibers, all that marketing jazz. Um, so, been profiled based on the tour winning steel fiber I-95, which is what she plays in her wedges. Um, you have a more keen eye for some of this stuff down here at the very bottom with all the length and torque. What do you think about this particular shaft?
The 370 staff, the 370 tip, that's kind of big. Usually you see a lot of 355s. I mean, that's mid trajectory. I mean, that sounds about right with the graphite shaft, a little bit heavier. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised she's not playing an iron shaft. Just, I mean, how good she is and how field based she
Uh-huh.
is. But if this is giving her the, the numbers that she wants, and she plays in Florida a lot, so she probably tries to deal with the same thing that we deal with, where trying to get some rollout when it's dried out and everything like that from the rain. Then, of course, you don't want to always have the ball up in the air, and she can probably play with the trajectory of her clubs better than a lot of players. So when she wants to hit it high, she can hit it high. If she wants to hit it low, she can hit it low. That's probably why. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty damn good shaft, though. Definitely
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and the irons are pretty. I mean, these things are just, you
Right, and
know,
that's a player's iron.
they're beautiful. Little compact, really thin top line. Looks great in the bag. Looks great down by the ball. So,
Yeah,
like you said, yeah, she's got a, tailor-made bag. The wedges were very interesting. So she's playing the mill grind at 50 and 54, and then at 58 she's playing the Vokey Wedge Works. With that I-95 again steel fiber shaft. So kind of keeping that trend, something she likes about that particular shaft and the profile,
yeah,
carrying it
probably a
through with
58
just
bent
the.
to a 60.
You're probably right. I believe I saw that. Yeah, which like you said, that makes sense with her hitting at 83 full. Again, which is a rarity. So yeah, been to 60. A cool little bag. I think we're excited to go over this one just because we haven't done a women's bag, and because she's been so prolific in her winning this year, it just makes sense to give her props and, um, just on an incredible run. Like I said, Scheffler, like just really doing it big out here. And we're not even we're just hitting the first quarter of the year, finishing up today, and she's already got three
Right.
wins. So the major
They haven't
season
even
is
played their
looking.
first major.
No, we haven't even hit the majors yet, and she just looks really comfortable. So shout out to
Facts.
Nelly Korda. 2 weeks in a row that we've given her props, but definitely wanted to go over the what's in the bag. And again, she won again, so she's gonna get mentions out here for us. You get a lot of stuff out of this channel, y'all. A little business knowledge, a little technical golf knowledge, a little BS in here and there. You're in a well-rounded environment. So, uh,
Absolutely.
hit that subscribe button, hit that membership button. We got you covered on all things golf.